Patricia A. Purcell died peacefully at home after a brief illness, surrounded by her devoted and loving family on December 3rd, 2010. She was a loving, devoted wife, mother, and beloved grandmother. Mrs. Purcell is survived by her husband, Peter F. Purcell, MD, and their 3 children, Peter James, Victoria Lee, Patricia Murgio, and her husband, Jason, and grandson, Peter Colt. She graduated from Niskayuna High School and Vermont College, Norwich University. She was a registered nurse at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City. She was an active community volunteer for charitable and philanthropic organizations in Schenectady. She was a member of the Junior League, past president of the Schenectady County Medical Alliance. She was a foundation board member of the Sunnyview Hospital Rehabilitation Center. This would have been my obituary or eulogy if I had followed the directions of the oncologist at Massachusetts General Hospital. Indeed, a very fine, reputable, prestigious, well-known institution. On May 7th, 2010, the darkest day of my life, I was diagnosed with adenocarcinoma of the pancreas, with metastatic disease to my lung, stage 4, prognosis poor. Oh my God. This turned into a hellish nightmare for me, as well as my death sentence. I was now placed on death row, not in a cancer cell, not in a jail cell, but in a pancreatic cancer cell. The oncologist came to my room and presented me with 2 sheets of paper with the FDA-approved chemotherapy treatments. In a dismissive manner, he instructed me to go home, as my local oncologist could administer the treatments. I apparently did not qualify for any of their research studies or protocol. I inquired about my prognosis only to learn I had less than 6 months to live. Needless to say, I was devastated and certainly not ready to die. I had too much to do and a family relying on me. I have a 20-year-old daughter who at the age of 13 suffered a stroke. Traumatic brain injury has left her with memory issues and a paralyzed hand, and she must wear a brace to prevent foot drop. I have a handsome, intelligent 20-year-old son who's still living at home, and an excellent, dedicated gastroenterologist for husband. Unfortunately, he does not know how to operate a electric can opener or a washer, dryer, or stove. I have both a wonderful daughter and son-in-law and a 2-year-old grandson who I want to love, hug, kiss, and I want to see him grow up, attend school, play sports, and have hundreds of treasured memories as his Grammy. The oncologist I saw in Schenectady advised me to be diligent and look around, as there may be alternative pilot programs and studies being offered at major university centers. My husband, with his tenacious nature, booked several appointments at some of the leading institutions across the country. Unfortunately, none of them offered anything very special. My internist at home then told me about Dr. von Hoff. Apparently, her nurse practitioner, the former president of the American Oncological Nurses Association, attended a lecture presented by Dr. von Hoff. He was the current recipient of the 2010 David A. Karnofsky Memorial Award, one of ASCO's highest scientific honors. This very prestigious award is given for clinical investigation and for the outstanding research for the impact of treatment on patients with cancer. She was indeed impressed. When I learned of Dr. von Hoff's reputation, I knew this was the physician I wanted to see, as he is on the cutting edge of pancreatic cancer and research. So off we flew to Scottsdale to meet this brilliant and very kind physician, Dr. Daniel von Hoff. Through his methods of genomics, he was able to identify several genetic weaknesses in the pancreatic cells, thus identifying the targets. Upon matching my cells with the appropriate chemotherapy, he determined the combination which would work best for me. By October of 2010, my CAT scan report revealed I was in remission. I'm delighted to say that while still undergoing treatment, I have been in remission ever since. I thank God and I thank Dr. Van Hoff. My friends, family, even doctors look at me in amazement, in wonderment. How can I possibly withstand all that I'm going through and yet look so good? After all, I should have been dead a long time ago. Well, I'm not dead yet, thanks to Dr. Van Hoff. One day I was in a dress shop to have a dress altered. The shop owner knew of my disease and in a consoling manner placed her hand on my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, dear, your family will do fine without you." I was horrified. After all, I was there to have my gown altered for a formal gala, not for my coffin. Never underestimate the power and the spirit of the patient, and never underestimate the love and support family and friends may offer. I tell everyone I talk to about Dr. Van Hoff and the wonderful research he's involved in with pancreatic cancer. I have encouraged other cancer patients to see him, and have even spoke to other doctors about his superb work. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, many patients do not come, and many have since passed away. I received a call several months ago from Lorelei, a family friend. She was distraught as she had just been diagnosed with cancer of the pancreas. I advised her to see Dr. Van Hoff immediately. Did she do it? No. She opted for a major medical center and entered a pilot study program of 39 patients. Did it work? No. Her next treatment was in New York City, where she sought treatment with a vitamin guru who prescribed over 200 vitamins daily. Did it work? No. She actually felt worse. She called me 2 months ago. What was that name of that doctor in Scottsdale, she asked? She recently saw Dr. Van Hoff and emailed me a week ago to inform me that she was actually feeling better and her tumor markers had dropped. Why? Because it works. Dr. Van Hoff's treatments work. There are 5 guidelines I try to follow and share with others who have cancer. For number 1, spread the word. I always tell people about Dr. Van Hoff and the impressive work he's doing with pancreatic cancer research. Number 2, prayers and swears. Pray like you've never prayed before, with faith, passion, and conviction. Swear at your cancer cells like you've never sworn before, with vengeance and hatred. I actually visualize my cancer cells dying in my body. Number 3, live to live, not live to die. Do not live with a tombstone under your bed. Plan things, do things, go places, go shopping, travel, have fun, whatever makes you feel good. Do not say no. Just say yes. Just do it. Number 4, say yes. Do not keep your disease a secret. People will offer to help you. They will come out of the woodwork to help you. Do not be embarrassed to accept their help. Always say yes. People I hardly knew offered their help. I had 2 email lists, Meals and Wheels. Some offered to cook, while others offered to drive me to chemo and do errands. I had weekly rides to chemotherapy and meals for 6 months. I refer to my helpers as my angels, for without them, times would have been most difficult for me through my first phase of chemotherapy. Number 5, attitude. Dr. Van Hoff told me I had to be tough and strong to deal with this dreaded disease, and so be it. You do what you got to do. I adopted a honey badger attitude. This feisty little honey badger is a vicious, relentless, ferocious, tenacious, and courageous animal. He always gets what he wants. My new MO? Be a honey badger, because I want to live, and I will stop at nothing until my last dying breath, which, by the way, God willing, isn't coming for some time. My most recent appointment with Dr. Van Hoff was in October. He's such an admirable gentleman, brilliant physician, humanitarian, so humble and so down to earth. He was honestly embarrassed and humbled when I told him he was right up there next to God in my book. I truly feel blessed to be under his care. Now, ladies, how many of you have ever been complimented by your physician about how nice your nail polish looks? Dr. Van Hoff complimented me. Who would have ever thought this eminent world-class physician with more credentials, awards, accolades, titles, and positions that one could ever imagine would be talking to me about my nail polish? I am so honored and truly privileged to be alive, standing here before you on this auspicious occasion at the Sina Magowitz Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament, and to share my story. I speak to you on behalf of all those who have gone before me and are now incapable of speech. Please hear me, for I am their voice. Unfortunately, they were robbed early of the precious joys life has to offer. I am certain they would thank you, and I thank you for your generous contributions to support others through the outstanding effort of Dr. Van Hoff and the TGen's Global Cure for Cancer. Let me forewarn you, pancreatic cancer can strike any time without notice. It strikes fast and furious, it is deadly and shows no mercy, and it will rip through your body like shrapnel. Chilling thought. This is why your continued understanding, love, and support are so vital to fight this dreaded disease. Please join me in saluting Dr. Van Hoff, the real equivalent to the terminator of pancreatic cancer. Through lifelong dedication, someday he and others that follow him will unleash the weapons that will save millions of people from the pain, suffering, and death sentence of pancreatic cancer. May God bless all those fighting the battles and winning the war. In the words of St. Clement of Alexandria, if you do not hope, you will not find what is beyond your hopes. Thank you.